Hello, welcome for this new video on the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Today we will see two verses dealing with the yoga of space. First is verse 84. Om ākāśaṃ vimalam paśyan kṛtvā dṛṣṭiṃ nirantarām stabdhātmā tatkṣaṇād devi bhairavaṃ vapur āpnuyāt. Devi, O goddess, gazing at immaculate space, pure, clear, empty space. Kṛtvā dṛṣṭiṃ nirantarām, and keeping one's gaze without blinking, without moving, without going here and there like bee on flowers, but keeping one's gaze not fixed on something, but not blinking and not moving. Stabdhātmā, then tatkṣaṇād, from that moment one will become unmoving, stable, stabdhātmā, one whose self is a standing, stable, stabdha. And then āpnuyāt, he, she will reach the body, vapur, the body, bhairavaṃ, which is divine, the divine body, which is wide open presence, wide open awareness. ākāśaṃ vimalam paśyan, gazing at pure open space. kṛtvā dṛṣṭiṃ nirantarām, with unmoving, unblinking gaze. Vyavadhāna unmesha nimesha bhavat, not blinking because there is no opening, no closing of the eyes. So in fact, this is just, I think, not a very good interpretation here, gloss here of Shivopadhyaya. Rather, nirantarām here, it means unmoving, but of course you can blink. It's not like a game of keeping one's eyes open without blinking. It's not that kind of childish. Stabdhātmā tatkṣaṇād devi, and from that instant onward one will be unmoving. It means what? It means that inside there will be no more words. It will remain silent inside. Silent inside, just like the sky outside is empty. Empty outside, empty inside. The outside and the inside answer to each other, depend on each other. So here the idea is to use the outside to influence the inside. If you gaze at something which is good, you become good. If you look at something which is clear, you become clear. If you look at something which is confused, you become confused. Just like your body becomes what you eat, or what you eat becomes your body. And if you're clear in your mind, somehow your experience, the world, the object is influenced, but the opposite way as well works. And if you are in front of a pure blue sky, a wide open landscape, it opens inside. If there is nothing outside to grasp, then there is nothing inside to grasp. And so attention self-releases and becomes more and more open, quiet and silent. All those words being equivalent. Silent and wide open and all those things is just different facets of the same diamond of presence. And then one gets, you will notice the body that is the divine. Bhairavaṃ vapuhu. The body. Vapuhu sometimes is translated by beauty or essence, but basically means the flesh, the body. So it's not that here you try to escape the body, rather you expand the body. Instead of having a small contracted body, your body becomes the sky becomes your body. That is, wide open awareness becomes your body. You become vast. Verse 85. Om līnaṃ mūrdhni viyat sarvam bhairavatvena bhāvayet sarvam bhairavakāratejastattvaṃ samāviśet. For the previous verse, there was almost no commentary by Shivopadhyaya and no commentary by Ananda. So, 85. Bhavayet, one should feel, one should realize viyat sarvam, the whole sky, bhairavatvena, that is divine, the sky of awareness, wide open space is, as Isaac Newton said, space is the organ of God, the sensitive organ of God, if God had one. So here, sky is the body of the divine. So, feeling the whole of space as divine and līnaṃ, dissolved or mixed with, mūrdhni, in the head, or rather where a head is supposed to be, because what that verse is pointing at here is just the huge difference between the third person point of view and the first person point of view. That is, how the others view me and how I appear in reflections, not only in the eyes of others, but in mirrors, in cameras, etc. The difference between that view and the first person point of view, that is, how I see myself, not through imagination, but through direct perception, here and now. How do I appear? And if I turn my gaze upon myself, not imagining, not trying to imagine what others would see of me, but how I appear to myself here and now and from my own point of view, I see that here, where others, where you see a head, I don't see a head. I see the whole space, I see the whole scene, the whole landscape appearing. As Douglas Harding said, I lose a head and I gain a world, or a sky, or a space. But what is sure, what I see here and now directly, is that instead of a head that you see here, me, I don't see a head here. I see space, I see viyat, I see a space, a room for ākāśaṃ, room for everything, room for my appearance here on the screen, room for the room, room for the colors, for the shape, for the forms, because here it is like an empty sky. It is an empty sky. It is an empty space, because I see no shape, no forms, nothing. I see emptiness filled with the fullness of everything. So If I am what contains everything, is that not divine? Bhairavatvena bhāvayet. One should realize that as divine. Bhairavatvena bhāvayet. One should realize that as it's not a question of imposing it on reality, of imagining on reality, just seeing and just surrender to the facts, to the evidence. Tat sarvam, all that. bhairavakāratejastattvaṃ, all that is the glow, the shining of the divine. All that is the shining of the divine. I am the divine, empty, and I am filled with all that. And what is all that? Is the shining of the divine. All the thoughts, sensations, feelings, perceptions, color, form, sounds, smells, touch, tastes, all that is the shining of that emptiness, of that empty space, of that wide open awareness, which has no limits, which has no form, but which is including, embracing all forms, and which is the source of all forms, because there is nothing outside of that space. I see nothing outside of that space that I am. I see, I feel nothing outside of that space of awareness, or that sky-like awareness, infinite consciousness. I feel, I see, I hear nothing. Whatever I hear, I feel, I think, I imagine, I remember, whatever, all that is within consciousness. And therefore it cannot be nothing but consciousness. Even the idea that I have of a world, of a reality that is outside consciousness, independent of consciousness, all that is an experience, a thinking experience within consciousness. So just like there is no physical body outside the physical space, there is absolutely nothing outside of consciousness. But consciousness is not something. It is emptiness. It is transparent. It is like the sky. It is room for all. But itself, it is not something. It is not blue. It is not red. It is not white. It is not black. It is not big. It is not small. It is not clear. It is not obscure. It is not this. It is not that. It is not here. It is not there. It is not low. It is not high. It is not gross. It is not subtle. It is the luminous space which contains all this and is the source of all this. And that is very important. Bhairavakāratejastattvaṃ. All that is the glow of emptiness, of the wide open awareness that I am. And that is very, very, very important to realize, to see, and to recognize. Because otherwise, I will continue in the trend of rejecting appearances, of rejecting thoughts, of rejecting feelings and sensations, especially if I practice a spirituality, form of spiritual practice, if I have meditation experiences, if I have good experiences of quietness, no thought, then I will have a natural tendency to reject thoughts. I will become attached to no thought and I will reject thoughts. If I have an experience of being free from appearances and feelings, I will become attached to that and I will start to reject those appearances, those feelings, those perceptions. I will start to see things as enemies, even as I usually did before spirituality. I will start to want to escape and to reject. I will say, what is this world? What is this weather? This doom? This cursed world, this cursed body, this cursed place, this cursed destiny of mine. This is all so bad, so unfair, so sad, so chaotic, so bad. So I will start to reject more and more the content of the emptiness that I am, and I will be attached only to the emptiness that I am, as if the sky started to hate whatever is in it, that is, everything. So I will start to hate everything. I will start to hate the mind, imagination, the intellect, words, feelings, sensations, food, and I will start to see everything as enemies, and I will try to fight or run away. I will become full of anger, hate, and fear. So this is a very bad track to avoid. And for that, to realize that I am full of everything, but everything is the glow of the mystery that I am. I cannot explain how, why even, but that's what happens. So there is nothing to reject. And the peace I desire, I will not get by rejecting thoughts and feelings. I will get how? I will get by relaxing, opening, embracing, realizing that I am capacity for everything, not rejecting anything, not choosing, and accepting also that I am a person with free will, and that there is also accepting, rejecting, choosing, two arms, two eyes, all that appearing in the wide open eye of awareness, yes. But there is not only one awareness. That awareness creates, dances, acts in polarities. There are two arms, left and right. There are two eyes. There is high and low. So I accept that, and I accept also that there are some things that cannot be accepted, because all that belongs to the nature of things, to the nature of creativity, to the nature of consciousness, to the flow of consciousness. There are choices to be made. Even if I choose not to choose, this will be still a choice. So there is no need to escape or to build doctrines of escaping and of trying to I want to suppress the mind, I want to suppress the body, I want no more to breathe, I don't want to eat anymore, etc., etc. I want to escape the world. No, relax in wide open awareness and recognize that thoughts, sensations, perceptions, any movement are waves on the ocean of consciousness. Not like a theory, but like a practice in the very moment. Feel thoughts, not just as sentences with meanings, but rather as movements of energy, bubbles of awareness, waves, infinite waves on infinite consciousness, and relax in that recognition, more and more, relaxing, letting come, letting go. That's the right path. Otherwise, you get stuck. So, you recognize emotions, anger, fear, frustration, desire, frustration, and you let all those energy arise, not like in a theoretical way, like you should accept a psychological theory that emotions are good, you should express them, etc. This is another realm. Here we're into yoga, here and now, a practice that is a direct practice, an energetic practice, if you will. Emotions are to be recognized, savored, enjoyed as manifestations of consciousness, waves of energy. Like all movements, emotion is motion, movement. All movement is vibration, and all that vibration, all that movement is consciousness realizing herself. So all that is to be done, the focus of the practice, the one focus of the practice, the one point that gathers, that sums it all, is relaxing. There is nothing to focus on, just not being relaxed, just being relaxed rather, and not being distracted from that openness, and relaxing more and more. And that includes all other practice. You need to focus, not to be distracted, to be patient, to be tolerant, to be open, to not to have to nourish any hard feeling. This is also pardon. This includes all the practices. This is a complete practice, and this is not a practice just of the body. This is not a practice just of the mind. This is not just intellectual. This is not just practical. This is all including. This is all including because awareness includes all. That's a fact. That's all for today, those verses 84, 85. Thank you for listening. Have a good day and see you next time.